and welcome back. You know what to do. Grab yourself a cup of coffee, grab yourself a cup of tea, or grab yourself a cup of water, and let's get straight into the news. First off, I do want to say I hope that everyone is doing okay if you are stuck at home like most of us are. And on the topic of world news and all the craziness that is happening in the world today, I do want to chat a little bit about Prince Harry, Meghan Markle, and what they are going to do next with their lives. When we last saw Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, they were exiting the world of royal life. You can tell that they spent a lot of time trying to perfect their image as they left the British royal family. Well, at least Meghan did. First off, Meghan obviously spent a lot of time and effort getting the final wardrobe just right. Every time we saw her, it was a new, bright-colored outfit, bold makeup, polished hairstyles. It seemed as though she wanted to send the message that now that she was out of the royal family, she was now free to be herself and live her life. This is the image that she was trying to give off. They had all of the right photo ops and they had all of the right photos. Meghan instructed Harry to smile, although we could tell that he wasn't very happy at all. But everywhere we looked, there was Meghan Markle smiling, and smiling, trying to convince us all that she and they were happier than ever. And then right after that final exit at the Commonwealth Day service, things really took a downturn for Prince Harry and Meghan Markle. First off, we have that horrible phone prank that got publicized. That was truly ridiculous on Harry's part. There's no way of getting around it. He looked extremely foolish. And not only did he look foolish, but he also looked very vulnerable. And for businesses that might want to partner with the Sussexes, this just doesn't look good. That phone call prank makes Harry and Meghan look like more of a liability than an asset. And that really is not a good thing. Then, of course, as we all know, the world started to go into chaos with the current pandemic. With quarantines, whole cities and whole countries are on lockdown. People are losing their jobs. People are sick. This is a very challenging time for the world at large. And when the dust settles, people are going to start coming out of their homes again, but things are going to be very different. First off, the global economy is going to be in a very bad spot. We are no longer in a time when companies are just throwing money all over the place. We are no longer living in a world where a financial company like JP Morgan is going to be throwing $1 million at Harry so that he can talk about how traumatized he is from his mother's death. We just aren't living in that world anymore. So what are Harry and Meghan going to do? They already had no idea what they were going to do in terms of a foundation or a charitable entity. We saw this expressed in their website update where they said that they were no longer going to be opening up a foundation, but that they wanted to do a charitable entity. And then we also heard Prince Harry say that himself when he was on that phone call with fake Greta Thunberg. He did tell fake Greta Thunberg that he and Meghan were taking a little bit of time to figure out what their next step was going to be. So they have no idea what they are going to do. But now they are in a bit of a pickle because priorities have changed for many, many people. If Meghan Markle thought that she was going to be a fashion influencer and get people to spend money on whatever merchandise she's promoting, guess what? People don't have money for that anymore. People are going to be focusing on their bills. And it also seems as though they were going to try to make money by partnering with private companies. But guess what? Companies are going to be more worried about how to stay afloat. There are going to be massive layoffs. Companies are really going to be focusing on how they can be profitable. And they aren't going to want to take a risk on people like Harry and Meghan. They're going to want to do conservative partnerships that they know are going to do well. And remember, Prince Harry just started a partnership with the airline industry, his company Travelist. But guess what? Airlines all over the world are going to be bankrupt. They're asking for bailouts from their governments. So no one is really going to be flying for a while, and no one is going to be focusing on the travel industry. And so that business is not going to work out for Harry. Whatever charitable endeavors they did want to work on, no one is going to be focused on global charities the way that they were before. People are going to be focused on making sure that their neighbors are okay. They're not going to be focused on throwing money and attention toward Harry and Meghan and whatever charitable endeavors they wanted to do. Now, there is a chance that Prince Harry and Meghan Markle could try to pivot and capitalize on the mental health challenges that many will have experienced after self-isolation. But again, they really do have to be careful here because they do not want to look like people who are profiting off of a terrible time for many people. They run the risk of being tone deaf and looking like they are just out for a money grab. And honestly, this is going to be a very challenging time for anyone who is starting up a new business venture. People just aren't going to be paying attention to new businesses like that. People are going to be holding on to their money a little bit more. So when you start to ask people for money in the midst of a pandemic, you look a little bit greedy. So in my opinion, we may see Prince Harry running back home to England sooner rather than later. And if he does not want to go home, he might as well file for unemployment like everyone else. Let me know your thoughts, and I will see you in the next video.